There have been leaks that suggest that Sony are going to merge PS Now and PS Plus into a 3-tier combined model similar to Xbox's Game Pass. Whilst I think this is a great idea and even likely to happen, at the time of making this video there have been no official statements on such things happening. So for now, I'm going to be talking about PlayStation Now in its current state, separate from PlayStation Plus. If and when we get word on the merge, codenamed Spartacus, I'll be sure to make a video on it. There are way too many companies trying to get you to sign up for their subscription-based service. Whether it's movies, music, gaming, or something else, the chances are you're already signed up to a whole bunch, and honestly, it's easy for these things to pile up and start draining your bank account, which is why it's important to make sure that if you're going to sign up for any more, they're actually worth it. Hi folks, my name's Eden, welcome to PlayStation Infinite, and in this video, I'm going to give you my honest opinion and all the information you need to help you decide if PlayStation Now is worth it for you. And if you want more honest reviews, you already know what to do. What is PlayStation Now exactly? Think of it like Netflix for video games. You pay a fee and you're granted access to a catalogue of games which you can play as much as you like whilst your subscription is active. PlayStation Now's catalogue consists of over 700 games, mostly from the PS3 and PS4, but there's a couple handfuls of PS2 titles as well. There are new games added each month, and whilst most of the games are permanent fixtures, some are only available for a limited time. How long that is exactly differs, but it's usually a minimum of 3 months, often longer. You have the option to stream almost all of the games available to not just your PlayStation but your PC as well. Whilst the PS3 games can only be played via streaming, the PS2 and PS4 titles can be downloaded to your PlayStation consoles also. There's only ever been one game on PlayStation Now that was officially download only and couldn't be streamed, and that was Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2. When GTA 3 the Definitive Edition initially released, it also couldn't be streamed, but that was an error that Sony has since fixed. Whilst we don't know the exact reason that Red Dead 2 was download only, we can just assume that it was part of the deal that Sony cut with Rockstar in order to get the game on the service in the first place. I don't expect this to be a common occurrence. To answer a few frequently asked questions, yes, you can still earn trophies on games played through PS Now. Yes, you can access the multiplayer portion of games, providing those multiplayer servers are still live and being supported by the developers. And no, you cannot continue to play a game you've downloaded once your subscription has ended. Essentially, games on PS Now will function the same as if you outright bought them, but only whilst your subscription is active. You'll be locked out of games you've downloaded through PS Now once your subscription ends. The cost of a PlayStation Now monthly subscription is $8.99 in the UK, $9.99 in the US and Europe, and $12.99 in Canada. However, you can also purchase bundles of 3 months or a year, which work out cheaper over the course of that time than had you paid it monthly. So by now, the main thing you're probably wondering is about the selection of games. Are they good quality games? Is there a mix of genres? Ultimately, do they justify the price tag? Well, with over 700 games, it'd be hard not to, but I can assure you that there are countless amazing games on offer, from AAA titles to incredible indie experiences and tons of hidden gems. There are far too many fantastic games to name, but do know that there are some of what I and many people consider to be the greatest games of all time available on the service. Things like The Last of Us, 2016's God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. There's many of the Fallout games, the Lego games, just too many to name. From AAA to indie, shooting to racing, thrilling zombie encounters to relaxing farming moments. There is just so much here, and most of the games aren't filler. So in case I haven't made it clear, yeah, I do think the catalogue is stellar. There are titles across every genre and the games themselves are just so good. But this wouldn't be a fair review if I didn't talk about what I think could be improved upon or the not so good. If your internet connection isn't stable enough, then you not only lose access to a neat feature and being able to stream the games, but you aren't able to play more than half of the titles on offer. You'll still be free to download the downloadable games, of course, which make up somewhere around 300 titles, but still, losing such a huge chunk of games and really amazing games is obviously a massive blow. And look, for the record, I'm not necessarily blaming Sony for this. I don't really know about the technical challenges of bringing those old games to newer consoles, but it's just definitely worth noting. If your internet connection is weak or inconsistent, then you may be missing out. Next, as I mentioned earlier, some games are only available for a limited time. Imagine being halfway through or even close to the climax of an intense campaign, only for the game to leave the service. Sure, you could go ahead and buy it and your progress will carry over, but it still sucks. It's like when Netflix loses your favourite show. And a big reason for why this has to go in the bad category is because I don't think some of these games need to be limited time. Sure, there are cases like Red Dead Redemption 2 where part of the deal Sony cut to get the game on PlayStation Now probably involves it being limited time. But when some of these limited time games are PlayStation exclusives, you know, first party titles, what's the reason then? Maybe from a business perspective it's a smarter thing to do, but from a consumer standpoint, losing some of these amazing games is obviously not ideal. The last point I want to make here is that PlayStation Now doesn't really offer any new games. I know that Xbox's Game Pass offers Xbox Studios games the day they release, which is frankly really good value, but PlayStation Now doesn't currently do the same with PlayStation exclusives. In fact, I think the newest games on PlayStation Now are about a year old. I know The Last of Us 2 is on there, but most of them were released even longer ago. And hey, that doesn't detract from the quality of games. They are still incredible games. But the point is, if you're looking for fresh releases, you should probably look elsewhere. So, in conclusion, yeah, ultimately, I think PlayStation Now is absolutely worth the money. The selection of high quality games is so vast that I can't believe more people don't use it. And I know this review has been pretty positive, but that's just my honest opinion. I think it's a great service. And I'm always just going to be honest, whether that sounds overly positive or negative. If you want to hear me sound a little more critical or negative, then I'm considering doing a review on EA Play for PlayStation Now, so let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I'll put a link in the description and at the end of the video if and when it's out. If you haven't already tried PS Now, then you should be eligible. If you haven't already tried PS Now, then you should be eligible to a 7-day free trial. If you have any more questions about this or something else I've covered on the channel, feel free to leave me a comment below and I'll make sure to get back to you. Thank you all so much for watching. My name's Eden from PlayStation Infinite, and until next time, it's been emotional.